darling, if I'm replaceable, then you don't deserve me.
Even before we can have Deepika Padukone as in Singham, we had you. And you actually had a moment with Rohit and said, dobara bolo.
It's always the role that chooses you.
Yeah.
So I was meant to play Tara Shetty. I thought maybe, with the two men, while on paper, Tara Shetty looked like she's a bomb,
yeah,
right?
she is.
And she's no nonsense and all of that. But I'm not going to get all the background score and high-speed shot. But he was so true to the character and not the gender. Now, you had to look the part. Age, no age. I think I was very well cast. Even if I say so myself.
No, we are saying it. He wanted to cast you in Golmaal, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Why did that not happen?
I heard the script and everything was all like in a blur. So it didn't materialize. I really believe that gratitude gives you a lot, and that's the one thing that has stayed consistent in my life. So whatever be the phase, good, bad, ugly, I've only had gratitude in my heart.
It's not just the age of digital Renaissance, but it's also the age of staying relevant. When we were growing up, we were always fed with rumors of actresses having a particular shelf life. But there are actresses from the 90s who I have loved and I have grown up watching who are changing that, and how. And I'm immensely proud of Shilpa Shetty Kundra, who joins me for a conversation only on Galatta India. Thank you so much for doing this, and I mean it. Indian Police Force is possibly the biggest show that's going to come up. Yeah. It's a Rohit Shetty and team coming together with you as the first, let's just say, Lady Singham.
Oh God!
What was?
It's Lady Shetty.
Lady Shetty, yes. What was your first reaction when Rohit sir came to you with this show?
So I got a call via somebody saying that, Rohit Shetty wants to get in touch with you and it's for a part. And I was like, I was just packing my bags to leave for Chandigarh to shoot Sukhi for a marathon schedule of 28 days. I was like, is this a joke? And then lo and behold, Rohit calls me in the evening. It was the shortest conversation. And it was like, yeah, oh, wow, when? Let me get back to you. So that was our conversation. And I was excited, but I was also it was a dichotomy of emotions because I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. Because when I asked him the question when, he said, I need 4 dates on this particular date, which is literally 15 days down the line, and I was going to be in Chandigarh. So I thought, ye gaya opportunity, ye to hoga nahi. Because it's so horrible to commit your dates to somebody and then keep a unit waiting.
Yeah.
But I have to say that, Vikram Malhotra was so magnanimous that he spoke with Rohit, and he was so kind to have let go of those dates, allow me to travel back and forth, not just shoot for Rohit, but also shoot for India's Got Talent and then come back. I was a wreck at the end of it all because I'm also a mother. So I barely had any time. But I don't know how I pulled it off, and it's all worth it.
But you have been doing it since the very beginning. You used to shoot for 3 films.
I don't work so much. I don't work so much. And I also took that sabbatical after my son was born for nearly 8 years. I didn't do any movies out of choice. So now when I've come back, now both my kids are slightly older. One is going to be 4. My son is going to be 12.
Yeah.
Now I have more time on hand. They're schooling. So I feel now, this outing a year has to be now worth my while. And so Sukhi and, Indian Police Force definitely were the right choices I made.
Absolutely.
For this year. And I'm so happy, and like you rightly said, I feel so proud to be able to deliver a part like this.
For the longest, it's a Shetty union. 2 Shettys coming together, it has to be like a
double dhamaka.
Was it mad on the sets of Indian Police Force?
Fully mad it was. And he also is very, very proud of my body of work and me of his. I think it is definitely that Shetty element, but that's where it begins and ends. Okay, because we are the kind of people who for whom work matters the most.
Yeah, he's a taskmaster.
He is an absolute taskmaster, and even me, when I approach my work, I want to do it to the best of my ability. There was no time for prep, so it's literally shuttling between these two projects and diametrically different roles, you know. So I was a little lost on the first day, and he very nicely eased me into it. I have to give it to him. And not just me, I take the carte blanche and say it for all actors.
True.
It's an absolute pleasure to work with Rohit, especially when you're working in this milieu of his cop universe, which he knows so well, that you have to have implicit faith in his vision and how he wants to portray you. And I thought maybe, you know, with the two men, while on paper, Tara Shetty looked like she's a bomb, right? She is. And she's no nonsense and all of that. But I'm not going to get all the background score and high-speed shot. But he was so true to the character and not the gender. And the way he shot me, and you see the trailer.
In the trailer, yeah, exactly.
You see, and when you see the series, you'll see what Tara Shetty brings to the table.
You know, Shilpa ma'am, the best thing about him is that he has never really fallen prey to social conditioning. And I love that, because there are very few filmmakers. You know, it's an easy route for a filmmaker to take anybody, but when they do it, because there's a lot of age shaming that we have in the society at large, and you know, like I said, growing up in the 90s, there was a particular shelf life given to actresses primarily. There was a lot of sexism in that as well. You guys have broken out of it, because I think the 90s actresses were, like, I'm saying there were few examples there, far and few in between, but primarily all the 90s actresses, whether it's you, whether it's Tabu ma'am, whether it's Kajol, whether it's Rani Mukherjee ma'am, everybody, you know, you guys are broken out. Do you feel that this needed to happen, like this anti-age shaming that has to happen today against the conditioning?
No, you have to look the part. Age, no age.
Absolutely.
You know, if I didn't look the part and if I wasn't able to perform the stunts, I don't think Rohit would have cast me.
Absolutely.
So it has nothing to do with age. And also, the character is a bit complicated because Tara is a woman who's in a senior position. And a woman in power.
Commanding,
so to be able to be assertive, authoritative, and still maybe walk the talk. I think I was very well cast. Even if I say so myself.
No, we are saying it. It's absolutely. I've been waiting to see this. Honestly speaking, and nobody better than you. And I can say that there's this on camera.
So sweet.
That the action stunts that we see in the trailer, I'm pretty sure it's a Rohit Shetty show, so there'll be much more.
It's hand-to-hand combat. It was hard, These 6 feet men I was fighting. I was puffing and panting, and I nearly had an anxiety attack. It's not easy. And he has shot these action sequences in like one go. No stunt double, Lion. We didn't have any stunt doubles. And hats off to the entire, team, not just Rohit's ADs, but also his action team. Brilliant. They're just so on point, and they just make our life easy. And accidents happen. I broke my foot.
I know.
But it was all well worth it, It's all like in the past. And sometimes they say break a leg. I really broke it.
You know, there have been moments when I speak to actors who I have grown up watching, they always say that there was a point, especially actors, like I said, even Kareena and Priyanka, they say that there have been points where film producers have come and said that you're very easily replaceable. Today, I don't think that's the case with women, and I'm talking about women at large. Was there any moment where you were said something which really bothered you, but kept you going?
Darling, if I'm replaceable, then you don't deserve me. No, I really believe that. That's the first question I ask makers when they approach me with a role. It's become a thing. In the last 5 years, I always ask the maker, why are you casting me? And what if I don't do it? Who's your next choice? Then it gives me an idea of what they're thinking. What is the kind of mold they're putting me into? With Rohit, I didn't get the opportunity to ask him that. I was just happy that he thought of me for this part. But the funny thing that came out in our session, that I knew it a little earlier, that he had actually written this part for a hero.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so I actually asked him in one of the interviews, I said, who would you have casted? So he said, एक शेट्टी नहीं तो दूसरा शेट्टी. Maybe Sunil Shetty. So it's amazing, you know. But he's very clear about who he wants to cast and why he casts that person. So there must have been some reason for that.
He wanted to cast you in Golmaal, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Why did that not happen?
I think at that time also he was starting out. Who knew that it was going to become such a huge franchise? I had just won Big Brother, so I was flying in and out, and I was actually stationed in London. So I came in. I remember I heard the script, and everything was all like in a blur. So it didn't materialize, and I'm sure he must have wanted to match dates with all the cast. There were like I think 7 people in it. So that just fizzled out, and then after that I got married, and then I decided not to do movies for 8 years. But then the time I decided to like get back into it, we're working again.
Absolutely.
So it was just, you know,
it's all destined.
Yeah.
At the trailer launch, there was this point where somebody said that even before we can have Deepika Padukone as in Singham, we had you, and you actually had a moment with Rohit and said, dobara bolo. How does it make you feel being the first woman cop in his cop universe? And have you pushed him? Because I have told him that he must take you, Sid and everybody into that cop universe and make like everybody come together in films. So
What did he say to you? Shut up.
No, he told me that that was the first day of shoot. What will he tell me?
Really?
Yeah. We had been on sets that day.
No, I have not had any of those discussions. I mean, Rohit has a mind of his own, and you can't get into that head. So if he's convinced about something, he will do it. And like I said, and I keep saying that, it's always the role that chooses you.
Yeah.
So I was meant to play Tara Shetty, and if I'm meant to maybe do something else in another capacity for Rohit, that again will manifest, and I've not put any thought into it. Yeah.
You know, I remember this would be my last question before I play a game with you. There was a point, you have immense goodwill in the industry. When I watch a film like Sukhi, you are so good in it. I told you, I promised you that I'm going to make my mom watch it, and my mom felt so happy watching it because I think it was the voice to a lot of those women who have actually sacrificed so much. And unfortunately, our moms are the biggest givers, and they sacrifice so much. वो लिटिल करके इतना हो जाता है ना कि हम लोग वो लिटिल को उतना वैल्यू नहीं दे पाते हैं मुझे. हाँ, और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा कि वो मुझे मेरे लिए वो बहुत स्वीट फिल्म थी.
And good child.
Yeah, thank you. That I would like to believe that I am. And then you did this, but there was a point of time when you said, you know, when you were doing Sukhi, that you didn't want to do it because of because of being emotionally low at that point. But today, when you're getting the response, do you feel there are producers, there are directors, because of your goodwill waited for you. Yeah. There are people who put that faith in you because they believed in you. And dealing with all of that and getting this is a big validation. How do you look back at that?
It actually makes me very emotional. Yeah, it also comes back to the same thing that, you know, the role chooses you. So I did tell Vikram at the time that I didn't want to do it. But he was adamant, Sonal was adamant, and they waited for me. I'm happy I did it though, because I feel Sukhi was really cathartic for me on a human level. And I just feel that there is just tremendous love, and I can actually feel like a surge of blessings coming my way, because what a year I've had. Starting with Sukhi, then Bastion opened.
True.
Professionally, I'm going through a high. I have a beautiful family, and now I have this teaser of the trailer of trailers. My debut on OTT with IPF. I mean, any female lead would give an arm and a leg to get this part. And I was just fortunate that I got it, and I just hope that, you know, people feel I've justified the role. So it's an amazing phase. I really believe that gratitude gives you a lot, and that's the one thing that has stayed consistent in my life. So whatever be the phase, good, bad, ugly, I've only had gratitude in my heart, and I feel very, very blessed to be in this position, to be able to do this interview with you, to feel that love that you have for me, and I honestly work for that love. पैसे तो बनेंगे यार, बना लिए मैंने. I work only for love.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what keeps me going.
You know, I remember those conversations that I've had with you, which are very personal, but I'm not going to delve into details on that. But every time I spoke to you, I felt for you, but your responses were always positive, despite whatever. And I remember, my mom always tells me this, that good things always happen to good people. थोड़े जल्दी किसी के, थोड़े लिए किसी के लिए थोड़े देर से, but अच्छे लोगों के साथ अच्छा ही होता है. And I'm pretty sure that always good things will happen to you because you've been kind and empathetic towards everyone around you. And thank you for being who you are, genuinely.
Thank you, thank you. क्यों यार? Emotional कर रहा है ये मुझे. Hi, this is Shilpa Shetty, and you're watching me on Galatta India. What a Galatta!